In this video, I'm gonna go over 4 key components to having a strong overhead squat position. The number 1 priority while doing overhead squats is maintaining an upright torso and externally rotated shoulders to have a strong position overhead. Sometimes that requires pointing your toes out to a 45-degree angle and having a wider stance than your normal back squat or front squat would be. My back squat preference is here. My overhead squat preference is a couple inches wider than that. That's gonna allow me to open my hips and keep my torso more upright for the overhead squat. So after we have wide feet, we want to make sure our overhead position is strong. That's going to require an externally rotated shoulder position, armpits facing forward, torso upright, and the bar directly above your head. As we go down, we want to try to maintain that position the whole time. We want to try to avoid internally rotating shoulders and sticking the head forward this way, because right here, we're a lot weaker than here. So your grip width is another important factor when it comes to the overhead squat. If you're very flexible, we can try a closer grip in to the middle. And if you're not very flexible in the upper back or in shoulder region, then we can start a little bit wider. If you're unsure, let's give yourself a starting point. I'm gonna start out on these wide rings here. I'm gonna put my index finger on these rings, and I'm gonna try a couple reps from there. So right here, I'm gonna try to figure out if this is a good width for me. Okay, so that width is causing me to lean forward and externally rotate my shoulders a bit. So what I'm gonna do is just spread my hands out about 1 inch. Go a little bit wider, go a little bit wider. I'm gonna try it again. So as you can see, my position was a lot better just by spreading my hands out a little bit. If you're really flexible, we can come inside a little bit, which ideally it would be a stronger position if you have the mobility to do so. So this is really tight for me, causing me to internally rotate a lot with my shoulders. I'm not able to show my armpits forward. I'm here. I want to be here. So I'm going to need to stick to the wider grip. It's going to be different for everybody. Mess around with different grip widths and see what's best for you. Your grip style in the overhead squat can also be very helpful. Some people just like to grab it normally. Personally, I like to maintain a hook grip during the overhead squat to maintain a tight hand and also to prevent my hand from sliding out during high rep workouts. When I first started overhead squatting, I would grab the bar without a hook grip, and I noticed during heavier lifts, I would get a lot of pain inside my hand. So what I did is I experimented setting a hook grip, thumb first, index and middle finger over my thumb, and my wrist was in a much tighter position. And I realized during high rep workouts, my hands would never slide out, which would occur sometimes before that.